Hello and Merry Christmas. If you're watching this, you've just unwrapped the start of a whole new journey. Whether you've got yourself a Canon R6, a Sony A7IV, a Nikon Z, or even an entry-level DSLR, congratulations, you're now holding the tool that has changed my life. But here's the reality check. Out of the box, this camera that you now got is programmed to be safe. It's set up for the casual user who wants to take snapshots of a sunset. It's not set up for someone who wants to shoot weddings, portraits, or in fact any professional work. We're going to take the next 10 minutes or so to strip away those amateur settings and set this thing up like a pro tool. So grab your camera, grab your coffee or a mince pie, and let's do this together. First off, we've got to talk about file format, because by default your camera is going to shoot JPEG. A JPEG is a compressed image. This is where the camera makes decisions about colour and contrast for you and throws away all of the rest of the data to save some space. If you want to be a pro, you need to switch to RAW. So find the image quality setting in your camera and take it off of JPEG and select RAW. Think of JPEG like a baked cake. You can't take the sugar out once it's baked, and then think of the RAW file as the ingredients. If you shoot a wedding and underexpose the bride's dress, for example, a RAW file lets you rescue that detail later. If you take that same shot in JPEG, chances are the detail is gone forever. Yes, the files are bigger, and yes, you're going to need more SD cards, but SD cards are so cheap nowadays, whilst ruining someone's wedding photo can be expensive, very expensive. So take some time now to pause the video, go find the image quality section of your camera and set it to RAW. Setting number 2 that we're going to change is about focus. Beginners often complain that their photos are soft or blurry. 90% of the time it's because the camera is in one shot mode. In one shot, the camera focuses once and locks the focus. If your subject moves even by an inch, like a fidgety groom for example, or a dancing guest, they're gonna drift out of focus. You need to switch to continuous autofocus. It's called servo on Canon and AFC on Sony. This tells the camera, don't stop working. It continues to track the subject constantly. And while you're there, turn on eye autofocus tracking if your camera's got it. This really is a wedding photographer's cheat code. The camera will literally find the bride's eye and stick to it like glue, leaving you free to think about composition. So let's talk about the fear of grainy photos. When you shoot in darker places, like a dim church or a reception hall, your camera automatically will raise the ISO to see in the dark. But if it goes too high, then yes, your photos are going to start looking like sandpaper. So we're going to set a boundary. I want you to find the auto ISO range in your menu and then set the maximum to 6400. Modern cameras can easily handle 6400 ISO without a problem. This tells your camera, do what you need to get the right exposure, but don't go any higher than this. This ensures that even if you're not paying attention in the heat of the moment, your camera won't ruin the image quality. Setting 4 is my favourite. It's called highlight alert, or in some cameras, including mine, it's called a zebra display. You'll usually find it under the exposure part of your camera's menu. On a wedding day, the most important thing is the white dress. If that dress is blown out or pure white, it looks just like a white blob. You can't see any lace and you can't see any texture. The problem is, looking at your small LCD screen in bright sunlight, you're just not going to be able to tell if it is too bright. This is where you enable highlight alert. Now, when you review a photo, any part of it that's purely white will flash black and white at you. It's an idiot-proof warning system. If the dress is blinking, you need to darken your settings. And if it's not blinking, well, then you're safe. This last setting is about how people perceive you. Are you a tourist or are you a professional? Because let me tell you, tourist cameras go beep beep every time they hit focus. Whereas professionals' cameras are silent. Go into your sound settings and turn off that beep. During the wedding vows, when the room is dead silent, you do not want to be the person making electronic noises. The image is in focus as the focus area square on the back of your screen or in your viewfinder will change colour. Also, if your camera has an electronic shutter or silent shutter, map that to a custom button. I like to use this during the ceremony so my shutter clicking doesn't distract the couple, the vicar, or the registrar.
And do you take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife? Please, no pictures during the ceremony.
It literally makes you invisible. There are 100 other settings that we could tweak. Back button focus, white balance, and button customization. But those can wait. If you've changed these 5 or 6 things, your camera is now ready for pro work. Your homework for Christmas Day is simple. Don't stress about making art. Just get used to the buttons. Take photos of the wrapping paper lying on the floor, the dog, and the food. Get your fingers used to where all of the buttons and all of the dials are on your camera and what they do. If you're serious and want to learn more about this, I'm releasing a wedding photography roadmap video sometime in January. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Hit the like button on this video if you find it useful and leave me a comment. I'll try to answer as many of them as I can. Now, go and enjoy your new gear. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you in the next one.